This box of incense sells for $14.99 in an American wellness shop. The factory in China that made it received about $2, and the factory's actual profit, after materials and labor, roughly 10 cents. 10 cents on a $15 product. So where does the other $14.90 go? I know the answer, because I'm one of the people in the middle. I export incense from China for a living. Today, I'm walking you through every step of this journey with my real numbers. By the end, you'll never look at a price tag the same way again. He starts in Xiamen, a coastal city in southern China, with centuries of incense-making tradition. The factory I work with produces traditional stick incense. This box holds 64 sticks, 100 grams made the classical way. Here's roughly what goes into it. Raw materials: sandalwood and herb powders, natural plant binder, about $1.10. Labor, 45 cents. The box and packaging, 20 cents. Factory overhead, electricity, rent, machines, call it 15 cents. That adds up to about $1.90 of real cost. The factory sells it to an exporter like me for right around $2. Their profit, roughly 10 cents per box. 10 cents on a product that Americans pay $15 for. That's well under 1% of the retail price. So why does the factory accept this? One word: volume. A single export order can be thousands of boxes. And here's what most people miss. The factory doesn't want to gamble on branding or marketing. A thin but reliable margin multiplied by enormous quantity is the business model. They don't build brands, they manufacture, and they're extraordinarily good at it. Someone has to get thousands of boxes from a factory in Xiamen to a buyer in America. That someone is the exporter. That's me. Here's the question worth asking. Why doesn't the American shop just buy directly from the factory and skip my markup entirely? In theory, they could. In reality, it almost never happens. 3 reasons. First, language and trust. The factory's sales team works in Chinese. An American buyer has no way to verify that a factory 7,000 miles away is real, reliable, or will still answer the phone after the money is wired. Second, quantity mismatch. The factory wants big orders. A typical American wellness shop sells maybe 100 boxes a month. They're not speaking the same commercial language, literally or numerically. Third, somebody has to handle export declarations, customs paperwork, quality inspection before loading, and the inevitable disasters. When a shipment gets held at customs, somebody's phone rings at 2 a.m. That phone is mine. For all this, I buy at $2 and sell it somewhere between $2.30 and $3.50, depending on order size. After bank fees, inspection costs, and the occasional order that loses money, my real margin averages 30 to 50 cents a box. So we're now at roughly $2.50, and this box hasn't even left China. One assumes is expensive, shipping across the Pacific Ocean. 7,000 miles. Surely that costs a fortune. Here's the twist. It's one of the cheapest steps in the entire journey. A single shipping container holds a staggering number of boxes. Spread the container cost across all of them, and the ocean freight comes out to mere cents per box, under 50 cents even for incense, which ships as sensitive cargo with extra handling. The bigger bill comes when the container lands. The U.S. government takes its cut in import duties and tariffs. Then port fees, then a truck from the port to a warehouse in California. All in, the landed cost, the total cost of this box sitting in an American warehouse, ready to sell, is about $3.80. Think about that. Manufacturing 2 layers of profit and a journey across the planet. Under $4. The remaining $11. That all happens inside the United States. Uncomfortable. The importer or distributor who owns that California warehouse sells this box to retail stores for around $7. From $3.80 to $7 sounds like highway robbery until you see what it covers. Warehousing, a sales team calling on hundreds of small shops, catalogs and trade shows, returns, and entire product lines that simply never sell. Then, the final step, the retail store itself. The wellness shop, the yoga studio, the gift store. They buy at $7 and sell at $14.99. In American retail, this is so standard, it has a name. Keystone pricing. Whatever a store pays, it roughly doubles. Greedy? Look at what that markup carries. Rent in a walkable shopping district, staff wages, insurance, credit card processing on every swipe, theft, and the inventory that sits on a shelf for a year before being cleared out at a loss. A typical small American retailer's true profit on this $15 sale might be under $1. So here's the final scoreboard for $14.99. The factory keeps about 10 cents. The exporter, me, 30 to 50. Ocean freight, ports, and the U.S. government take roughly $1.30 combined. The distributor's operation absorbs around $3, and the retail store's operation absorbs nearly $8, most of it going to rent, wages, and fees, not into anyone's pocket. The incense itself, the actual product, materials, and craftsmanship, represents less than 15% of what the customer paid. Everything else is the cost of moving it, trusting it, and putting it within arm's reach. It's getting rich here. Honestly, almost nobody. And that's the strangest truth about global trade. A $15 product passes through 6 pairs of hands, and every pair earns a razor-thin slice. The system doesn't work because anyone wins big. It works because everyone wins small, at colossal volume. And that logic of volume creates some genuinely bizarre outcomes around the world. Here's one. There is a single county in China that produces about 70% of the world's cigarette lighters. One county. Next week, I'll show you how that happened, and why nobody on Earth can undercut them, even though everyone knows exactly how they do it. If you want the real numbers behind the things on your shelf, subscribe. I'm here every week.